All right, it is 12 p.m. and we'll call this meeting to order. Can we get a roll call?
Derek Jones.
Absent.
Katie Cornman.
Here.
Stephen Cox here. Greg Duffy.
Here.
Lane Jones.
Here. All right, moving on to item 2A, discuss and take possible action in the absence of the president and/or clerk to appoint an acting president and/or clerk for the school district to execute any and all documents pertaining to the bond sale.
We have our president and clerk here, so no action is necessary with 2A.
Okay. Moving on to 2B, receive bids for the $9.46 million taxable combined purpose building bonds of the school district and take action to award bonds to the lowest bidder.
Well, I do appreciate everyone's time. Before we get into the bids, a couple of items to go over. Everyone should have a record of bids. Yes.
A microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, I may have just turned it, it's on. I hit it twice, so if it goes off, I'll turn it back on. Again, I appreciate your time. Before we get into the bids, a couple of items to go over. You should have a record of bids form if you would like to make notes while I read the bids. Behind that, I've provided a board member motion form. That motion form is not required. It's just a cheat sheet. Sometimes our agenda items get a little bit wordy, and so we provide that for assistance. There's also a recent bond sale comparison. And again, as I mentioned, before we get into these, we always want to give you a heads up on what's happening in the marketplace, what did we forecast on the interest rate on our bonds and so forth. When we started selling our bonds this year, we estimated about 5.5% on these bonds. Now, you might note that these are taxable bonds. Why are we selling taxable? We're a school district. We should be tax exempt. And you are. But anytime you take money from one project and you pay on another financing, so anytime you take bond money and you make a lease payment, which is what we do with series bonds, anytime those two events are outside of 90 days, the only way you can do that under IRS compliance now is to have that taxable. And it's not about the day that you actually get it and the day that you write the check. It's about the dated date of those agreements. And so our bonds are dated July 1. We needed to have them dated July 1 for tax purposes. Our lease payments are due in September and October. So that's outside of that 90-day IRS window. They updated that in 2018, actually. And so after those dates, after those timeframes, we have to do them taxable in order to maintain compliance. It's a pretty common function now across Oklahoma. You'll notice on your spreadsheet there, a number of those bonds are taxable. And again, it's because those dates fall outside of a 90-day window. I mentioned again, we estimated about 5.5% on our bonds when we set up this bond sale. You can see on this sheet, a number of these have been selling below that mark, but most of the taxable bonds are coming in pretty close to that. I just realized I had a typo when I updated this morning. It's not FPRT, that's Fort Cobb, Broxton, so I apologize to Fort Cobb, Broxton. They had a taxable bond yesterday, $890,000. Their low bid was 5.14, and they had bids all the way up to 5.75. Ketchum Schools also had a taxable bond, $1,060,000. They were at 5.16 with bids ranging up to 5.41. Western Heights, probably the closest comparison in recent days. Western Heights back on May 9th sold $5.6 million. Their low bid was 5.14 with bids ranging up to 5.38. Midwest City, Del City sold $1.6 million. So they have a little bit larger tax base to draw from as well. That's probably why you're seeing a little variance there. They had a low bid of 4.63 with bids up to 5.14. Deer Creek back on May 4th, 5.2 million. They had 5.12 bids to 5.23. Right above that, Davis down by Ardmore or down towards Ardmore, 5.18 up to 5.28. I won't read every one of these to you. Obviously, you're capable of reading these, but just want to give you kind of a market update. Our bids were emailed over this afternoon or this morning after I left my office. That's perfectly acceptable. 2 of these literally came in about 1 minute ago. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read off of my phone. I'll have someone verify both the receipt of that bid as well as the information that I'm reading aloud. We only need to sign the winning bid, so we will print that after we proceed with everything. We did have one bid that came in enough time to get it printed. Before I read through the bids, were any bids delivered to the school separately? They usually aren't. In fact, in 20 years, I can't think of one, but I always want to double check and ask first. The first bid that I'll read is First Bankers Bank Securities. And let me touch on this as well. I just noticed this on their bid. They have a local bank bidding. That is the single biggest factor when we sell bonds. So my office, we mail information to about 40 different bond traders and banks, including all of your local banks. When your local banks bid, you all save money. They can come in dead last. And the way that that plays out, when we mail out this packet about 10 days ago, those bond traders will start calling the local bank. Hey, do you want to buy half? I'll buy half. When a local bank says, I'd love to bid with you, now those bond traders have an immediate buyer, rates come down. When a local bank says, hey, I appreciate the call, I'm already bidding with someone else. Now those bond traders know they have competition, and if they want to be in it, they better be aggressive. Lastly, when local banks are saying, hey, we're just not interested, we're not bidding right now, now those bond traders are trying to sell something that nobody really wants, and the only way you can do that is to raise rates. I know that Piedmont has had local bank support for years, but we have schools that can't get any local banks to bid, and I've seen as much as 2% difference on the rates when the local banks are involved or not. So simply having a local bank put their name out there, you all benefit from it. They can come in dead last. You still benefit from it. First bid, again, is First Bankers Bank Securities. First Bankers Bank Securities, and they are bidding with F&M Bank. They have a premium on their bond of $3,311. A premium of $3,311. They have a net interest cost of $1,037,289. Again, $1,037,289 for an average interest rate of 5.4825. 5.4825. The next bid that I'm going to read is Country Club Bank out of Kansas City. Country Club Bank out of Kansas City. We received their email bid as of 11:54 this morning. So their bid was in on time. It's all an appropriate format for them to bid that way. They have a premium of $2,932.60. $2,932.60. They have a net interest cost $980,907.40. Again, $980,907.40 for an average interest rate of 5.1845. 5.1845. And I'm going to verify with one of our board members quickly. So you can see, excuse me, I didn't mean to step on you. You see the receipt here at 11:54 from Country Club and their bid information. Make sure I read this out right. $2,932.60. $980,907.4 for an average rate 5.1845. And our third and final bid is from the Baker Group, and they are based here in Oklahoma City. Again, the Baker Group. They have a premium on their bond on their bid of $3,773.59. Again, a premium of $3,773.59. They have a net interest cost of $1,017,906.41. Again, $1,017,906.41 for an average interest rate of 5.380055. 5.380055. And again, I'll verify quickly. Oh, I did not read out the time that we received that bid. 11:55 a.m. Excuse me. So you can see here 11:55 on the timestamp. And on their bid form, handwriting's a little messy. 3,773.59. 1,017,906.41 for an average rate of 5.380055. All three of these bids, they really are fantastic bids. They're right in line with the market. Again, we estimated about 5.5%. Anytime we're in a rising rate market and you're getting fixed rate bids that are competitive for the day, it's always a good component. By law, you have to accept the lowest dollar amount bid. There is no such thing as a best dollar. If we were bidding HVAC, if we were bidding buses, there's a little bit of variance. But when it comes to a dollar is identical. It doesn't matter where you get it. So by law, we have to either accept the lowest bid or reject all bids and resubmit. But it's definitely a fantastic bid by Country Club Bank. We would recommend that you accept that bid. Be happy to answer any questions the board might have.
Anybody have any questions? No questions, and looking for a motion?
I, Stephen Cox, hereby make a motion to accept the low bid of Country Club Bank at an interest rate of 5.1845% on the sale of the 9,460,000 taxable combined purpose building bonds dated July 1st, 2023.
Got a motion by Stephen. Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Katie. All right, can we get a vote?
Katie?
Yes.
Stephen? Yes. Greg?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. All right. Moving on to item C, discuss and take action on a resolution providing for the issuance of taxable combined purpose building bonds in the sum of $9,460,000 by this school district, authorized at an election and held for such purpose, prescribing form of bonds, providing for registration thereof, designated registrar and paying agent for the issue of these bonds, providing levy of an annual tax for the payment of principal and interest on the same, and fixing other details of issue.
All right, and with agenda item number C, basically what you're authorizing, we have to register the bonds with Secretary of State, State Department of Education, and DTC. We also have to submit all of our paperwork to the district attorney and to the attorney general for legal review. And you're authorizing us, under item C, you're authorizing us to proceed with those registrations, to get the proper legal approval in place, so that in July, all of our paperwork is in order and we can actually transfer the money. And I'll say, I don't usually phrase it this way, but I recommend that you approve agenda item number C so that we can get the legal approvals.
Okay. All right, looking for a motion for item C. And that's going to be the middle.
Yes, sir, correct.
I, Katie Cornman, hereby make a motion to authorize the issuance of $9,460,000 of taxable combined purpose building bonds dated July 1st, 2023, and fixing other details for the issuance of said bonds.
Second.
Got a motion by Katie and a second by Stephen. Can we get a vote?
Katie?
Yes.
Stephen? Yes. Greg?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
And I'll point out that board member motion form, that cheat sheet, that does have a third item on there. That item does not apply to us. We sell about 100 bonds every year, and I think my office just forgot to delete that, so I apologize. That last item is in reference to the tax status, but as I mentioned in the beginning, these are taxable, so we do not want to authorize that last one. It's not on the agenda. The agenda is appropriate. We just had one extra item on that cheat sheet, so.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What's the term on these?
These are 2-year.
Huh?
2-year.
Two.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are all short. I said that. Let me make sure yes, 2-year. Yeah, so we have these real short 2-year bullets, as I call them. The reason I call them that, they're a 2-year bond, but they're actually only on your levy for 1 year. And the reason we structure it that way, it allows us to get it on and get it off as fast as possible. It also gives us the most flexibility to try and maintain that flat millage rate. We don't want to go up, but we also don't want to go down. When you go down, you're losing capability to address your next need. By using these really short 2-year terms, they go on and they go off every single year. It's just a platform that we've found to be the most applicable when you can get to that structure. So,
Gotcha.
good question.
All right, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 3, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Greg,
I'll second it.
second by Katie. Can we get a vote?
Katie?
Yes.
Stephen, yes. Greg?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. All right, the
All
time
right.
is 12:15, and we are adjourned.
I need our president and clerk for about 10 minutes to sign documents, please. Thank you.